Okay, so at this point for your nonprofit organization, you've identified an issue, you have researched that issue so you know what it's all about. You have some specific facts and details, statistics about it. You've come up with a logo, a mission statement, a name for your organization, and you've thought through a good amount of how you want to spend the $5 million that you are seeking. So here comes the biggest piece. Phase 4, preparing. This is where you're going to put together the 60 to 90-second elevator pitch that you're going to use to try to convince the investors, the sharks, that they should invest in your nonprofit. So a effective elevator pitch has a few common elements, but I'm going to walk you through what you need to do for this assignment because you have some options here in how you want to construct your elevator pitch in a way that will be effective and meaningful. So, first, you'll need a hook, some sort of way to grab listeners' attention. Do you have a personal connection with the issue? It could be a specific fact about your issue that might grab people's attention. And then you're going to want to introduce who you are and what your organization is. Next, you'll want to be sure that you are clear about the issue that you're trying to address with your nonprofit organization. Why is it such a big deal? And what is some key information that your investors need to know about it? Then comes the plan. What exactly are you going to do with $5 million that you are seeking? Why should people choose to invest in your organization instead of others? What have other people tried to do to solve the problem in the past? And how are you going to do a better job? And then what you're ultimately going to do is choose between three different outlines, three different templates that you think will help you do the most effective job possible in convincing the sharks that they should invest in your nonprofit. This template is just a way for you to get your ideas together. If you want to format your elevator pitch in a different way, that's totally fine. But in the rest of phase 4, what I'm going to show you right now are three different templates you can choose from in order to construct your elevator pitch. You only need to complete one of these. So think through the strengths and weaknesses of each of these templates and what might be best for you. So template number 1 is very cookie cutter. It's very structured and it's essentially plug and play. So this one is very simple and that's kind of a helpful thing. So template number 1 begins with your hook. What are you going to do to grab people's attention? And then a space for you to introduce yourself, essentially just filling in the blanks to identify yourself and your nonprofit. Then you're going to describe your issue by listing several specific facts about the issue that you have selected. And then on the next page is your plan. What have other organizations or other groups or people tried in the past? And then what exactly are you going to do with $5 million that will be better than what others have tried? Finally, you'll end with a conclusion that will tie things together and convince people that they should invest in yours. So, the upside of template number 1 is that it's very simple, it's very structured. You are essentially plugging in information. The downside is that it's going to sound kind of robotic and simple. And if a lot of people choose template number 1, then your elevator pitch isn't really going to stand out as much. So, there's positives and negatives to template number 1. If you like, template number 2 is also structured, but it's a little more free for you to design things the way that you want. So there's a space for you to write your hook or your intro to get people's attention and explain who you are. There's space for you to describe the issue and the evidence that you have, including specific facts about the issue you're trying to help solve. Then on the next page, there's space for you to describe the plan that you have for addressing the issue. What are you going to do with the $5 million that you're seeking? And then, of course, a conclusion at the end. So this is also very structured, but more open-ended. So if you want to have a little more space for creativity, to have your own voice and make sure that your elevator pitch stands out from others, but you want a little bit of structure to help you kind of focus what you need to say and outline things, then template 2 might be good for you. And if you haven't guessed so far, template number 3 is essentially a blank slate. So however you want to put together your elevator pitch, template 3 is totally blank. There is zero difference to me when I'm grading your elevator pitches, which of these templates you choose. The template that you pick does not affect your grade. It's entirely up to you and what you think will suit you best in putting together an effective elevator pitch for your nonprofit. So that's phase 4. Whenever you are ready to begin this step, you can get to it with this assignment, choosing a template and coming up with the most effective elevator pitch for your nonprofit. Thanks.